And we're back with some more Timberborn. And today we dam. We make a big reservoir. We build a reservoir. I've been advised of getting the wording incorrect on that one. But we're going to build a reservoir through here, and we're going to put it, well, it's going to effectively be a kind of a dam at the end. And it's going to be about this high to start. I figure we get the guts of the whole thing completed, and then we raise it up even higher. We're going to get it up to the same height as this line here, and this whole thing is 15 tiles wide. So 15 tiles wide all the way back to the center. This should be constructed fairly quickly. Ah, perfect. Now that is the scaffold upon which we shall build our reservoir. So we've just got to excavate this out. On the downstairs, you can see that we are currently blasting a nice big hole all the way through. Which reminds me, you have to come down here periodically and extend on the path. Namely because it doesn't work otherwise. This is some sluice gates, which will have use later, but for now they just sit there. Oh, and there was a wonderful tip in the comments. Several people pointed out. You can actually change workers allowed in new buildings to bots. That means every time we build a new building, automatically fills with new timber bots. We don't have to do anything. You can go up to 10. Yeah, and so can you. We need more haulers. More robotic haulers. Now that we've got the downstairs being blasted apart, what we're going to do is the upstairs. Which means we're going to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff here. Effectively, everyone's going to stay out of the center. And we're going to collapse this entire area in here into the floor. Which means we're going to need a lot of explosives. Oh, and we have put a bunch of explosives right there, a bunch of extract, and a bunch of planks. Because all of those are required by tunnels. And basically everyone's been telling me, just use these. And we will. We will see how much faster this makes things. It probably should work quite well. I mean, they've stocked it up. And actually, let's just have a quick look here and unpause it. You'll see they're moving at speed. Like, they're blasting through this quite rapidly. Huh. In that case, we need to do the up top as well. First off, we got to blast off all of this. We want this to be back one tile, and I'm going to leave as much of the natural, semi-natural environment as possible to make this function. This is going to be the front of our reservoir, and we're going to put levees up here. What I want to do is leave as much of the natural soil there as possible, because people keep saying, I make things too unnatural and destroy the local environment and, I don't know, some other sort of stuff. So what we're going to do instead is do that. See? We have left the natural environment there and we're just adding to it. We're going to do the same along the sides as well. This will be not perfectly natural, but semi-natural looking build. And then we're going to build along the sides as well. Now, we could use dirt for this, but this looks way more entertaining if we do it this way. And one thing, we are going to have to smash down some stuff here, so I think we'll build this up a little bit at the front. We'll remove those two tiles there, replace them with levees, and that will be the front of the dam completed. Then what we'll do is we'll build it all the way back. We're going to build this thing the whole way to the back, then we're going to start blasting down to meet the core depth. And done. Now, I know this doesn't look like a reservoir yet, but we haven't done all the exploding yet. How's the downstairs going? A little bit slow. We set this on a lower priority, so this is going to take a little bit of time. But we still have time. We have 14.5 days before the next wettening. And when that happens, we want this tank ready to go. And it should be. All we got to do is plant rows of explosives along this side as well. I think we'll start leveling this out. I want this all to be about the same height. And how are you there? You should have been demolished ages ago. You're just going to get in the way of things. Now it's time to start shaving the sides off of this. That means lots and lots of explosions. What I'm trying to do here is get them all to the same height. That way it's more consistent to actually just chuck down the explosives and let them do their thing. Excuse me a second while I get them all to detonate simultaneously. I think that's all of them organized. And let's pop. Yeah. Beautiful. Now, I don't know how deep down we have to go, but I mean, I could figure it out, but it's better to just start blasting holes, and eventually you'll hit where you're supposed to go. And then we can reverse some steps. Now, what I'm going to do is find out areas where we're a little bit uneven, like here, and I'll smooth them down to the same height. Ooh, why have you got water? Where'd that water come? Oh, we blasted out some water out of this area. And I missed some. You know what? It's fine. You guys go clear that out. So give me a minute to lay down another layer, and at that point we should be pretty much even. I do have a little bit of difficulty judging depth in this game. There's no real easy way to go, oh, how deep do I have to go? But I think we're just, like, okay, this is a 3-tile hole, that 3-tile deep hole that we've blasted here. And then it just seems to be one more tile down to the bottom. So what we should do is just do one ring of triple explosives all the way around. Like this. Yeah, all the way through here. And then we'll do a second layer that will be just one explosive deep. And that should get us all the way to the bottom. Oop. 3. Should probably do a 2 in the middle if we want to do this. Actually, yeah, we will. That's, yeah, that's 2 tiles deep. I want to actually do just sort of like a 1-tile explosive around the edge at the very end and hopefully break everything off with that 1-tile explosive. It should, in theory, work. Though, I might do a save beforehand to see if we can't make it more dramatic. Look at those beavers go. You can just see the dynamite going down at speed. Now, if we detonate this here, it should ripple all the way around. Except for that one over there. You know what? We'll just detonate these 2 already. Yeah, you 2 can be detonated. And then if we start this one here, it'll go all the way... Oh! Guys, why is there nothing there? Oh! 1 second. This was a little bit sloppy on my part. What I'm doing here is... okay. The theory is that this will fill with water once we've got it done, and then when it starts to overflow, we've left this gap here. So this is where it'll naturally flow out. And then that will flow down around and back into our regular liquid tank, which currently is... wow. Super duper full. Yeah, water has not been... like, we've cut down on the amount of organic beavers, so our water consumption is kind of plummeted quite a bit. Alright, once you finish this, we should be able to just start like a detonation here, and a detonation here. And... yes, all the way around. In fact, let's just speed this along a bit. So the theory would be, if we delete all the supports and start detonating the dynamite all the way around, it should cause this entire block of dirt to fall. It won't have a fancy animation, but it should hopefully look cool. And... done. Now, how's the ground floor doing? I'm going to need you guys to finish your work before we can do that, and you guys are almost finished. I got to give it to it. Robot beavers, super efficient. They barely ever do anything too stupid. I mean, they might actually just be too good. Okay, and they don't complain or have any needs, bar getting punch cards and catalyst, which are very easy to supply. Except for the massive amounts of forestry destruction, but, you know, minor cost to pay. Yeah, we're going to let them finish up, and then a little bit of prep work. Actually, yeah, just a little bit. Okay, I think I know what the plan is. Well, once the beavers all leave... beavers, get out of there. This place is about to become dangerous. What we want to start doing is demolishing the supports in here. Now, actually, let's start on the far end where there's no beavers. And, yeah, that's going to delete some of the ground above, I think, as well. Or not? Huh. Okay, then. In that case, we can start deleting things a little bit more aggressively. That will also delete that strip of dirt. Yeah, no, it's fine. Basically, we're ending up with a little bit of a concave because the dirt will basically support itself out to 3 tiles. So out to here, it's fine. And then the next 3 tiles in, and then that 1 tile in the middle breaks, and then we're good. So this actually all looks completely intact from the top. Beavers, what are you doing? Are they? Wow. Okay, they want the resources. That is fine. Yeah, that can all go too. Are we short of anything? Because I was actually just going to delete all of this junk. Yeah, we can get rid of all of this. And... done. Oh, I think a beaver just died, did they? Never mind. Their corpse has been subsumed into the pile of garbage that is down here. I'm gonna let him grab all that junk that's lying around the place. Seriously? There's... Like, I think we're full on planks right now, are we? Actually, no. They can grab more. Alright, take all the planks, put them in storage. Then we're gonna start the demolition. Actually, wait, I can probably start that demolition just about now. I think that is the last chunk of dynamite. Excellent. Now, what should happen is we should detonate this, and it will string all the way around. Well, actually, it'll blast in both directions, and everything in the center should collapse. Is the theory. Whether or not that actually happens, I suppose we'll find out in a second. Let's see if we can't get a good view of this. Right about here. And... action! Really? Oh, there we go. Ha ha! That was exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, yes. And done. One pristine, perfectly square tank. And why is that? Oh, I forgot to blast that. Okay, so I may have missed this last section over here, but that is fine. We can fix that in post. Done. Exploded away. Now, I think we're going to get rid of this scrap that's down here. I've been saving resources and not deleting the rubble, but we pull in so much resources, this makes no difference anymore. We don't need it. So you can all go. It feels wrong, but at the same time, I think it's just taking up processing power, dealing with all of that junk. So let's just get rid of it all. Oh, damn it. I think I made it one tile too high. This needs to be one tile deeper. The sluice gates need to be down one tile. Actually, no. We don't need them down one tile. In fact, no, this is ground level. And since this is ground level, we don't need it to be any deeper. But we do need a little bit of a hole here. And I think that can be provided quite handily. Oh. I just realized if we detonate this, it might cause a few problems to the surrounding beavers. Well, you can't make a dam without breaking a few beavers, so sorry. Actually, worked out perfectly. I don't think we got any. They might have some ringing ears, but they're robots. They'll get over it. Okay. We want to put you on auto. We'll put you on close above downstream depth. Yeah, it's going to make you, say, about 45. 40. So, we want you to keep the downstream depth about there. It's a lot of you. And that should make us a little tank of water here that all the beavers can draw from. As opposed to drawing from this giant area over here, we just need a nice little small area. And we can also put some other stuff in here to, I don't know, make them happy, like Legos or Ligos. What are they called? Lido. A Lido, yeah, see, we can give them a Lido. We can stick one of those in there and stuff like that. After the rains come, or the floods come. So that will be another 8.8 days. So this actually worked out wonderful. It was done nice and quick. Now all we got to do is expand it. I think that's a good start. I kind of rushed that one because I wanted it ready before the next flood. And as well as that, all the water should flood in here. This should be closed. No, auto open. We want you closed. Perfect. Yeah, you're closed forever now. We don't care about you. You will be... Nope. We want you auto. Close above contamination 1%. Yes. And should be fine. So, this guy over here, you're set to close below contamination 1%. Right, so this will allow all the dirty water out, and all the clean water will go in there. Or bad water, whatever. Or the bad water will go out this section where it is nicely flowing. So I figure we make the second water tank over this direction. Hell, we even got part of it excavated already. Yeah. We could make this water tank huge if we really want to. And we really want to. Oh, another thing. We can make this water tank higher as well. For now, we're not doing it. But later on, this will be going... Well, how high can we make this? Taller? Like, we can do the tallness thing afterwards. But for now, we want to be able to build it a little bit easier. And then once we've got the bottoms excavated out, the top will be much easier to build onto. So I'm thinking over this direction somewhere. And this is the result of the planning. We're going to sort of go out here and do the exact same style tank as this one. In fact, same size, same width, same everything. Why not? Then what we can do is build a third one over here, a fourth one over here, and then we can link all three of them together. And they will be in a very similar pattern to, well, our sort of farm designs, our clover designs. Once we've linked them all together, that is. This allows us to expand our water tank consistently without having to worry about a flood suddenly destroying us all. Well, assuming actually, yeah, no, when this one goes in, it might be a bit of a problem. But you know what? We'll figure it out. Problems keep cropping up, you sort them. Oh, and I have learned my lesson. People have been telling me, use bridges. Yes, this makes so much sense. So what happens here is normally I'd start building one of these platforms and they would slowly come along and build them one tile at a time. But what's going to happen here is they'll get to the end here, they'll put down this bridge, and then they can work on multiple tiles simultaneously, drastically speeding up everything. We've even put them down here so that we can get onto this platform to demolish the trees that are in the way. This just greatly speeds up the production without us having to do anything really different with our construction techniques. All right, and I have forgot to hook some of these up. You go to there. We'll put another zipline station over there as well. But this is basically going to be the same technique. We will have to, of course, drill down into the ground, blast out a bunch of foundations. Ooh, we might want to make some stockpiles over here as well for our beavers. You know what? We'll let the walls go up first, then we'll worry about the blasting second. We've still got 8 days before the next flood comes anyway. This end bit over here is going to take a little time. But down here, we're going to try something a little new. We're going to stick a zipline station down here. There's no paths down there, no nothing. We're just going to chuck down a zipline station. And then we're going to see if we can get down there somehow. Can you... Ah, damn it, I can't see that getting a stick to it, can it? Too steep. So, it is possible. It's just we need a less steep angle. We need to maybe do some playing with this. We appear to have our answer. What you need to do is use one of these, the zipline beam. Placing this about here seems to give us the right angle. Anything else? No. You need to get yourself a little bit of a trench. These zipline pylons, they don't do it. You can see this one here. Actually, let's try just deleting that for funsies. Ah, you can actually do it right about there. So that will work. In fact, I prefer that one. Perfect. Then we can add that connection down to there, and then we'll probably add this connection over to this one. No. Damn it, so close. You can go there, and then you can be the connection between the two of those two. And then this one goes all the way back over to our little Nexus hub here so that everyone can... Yeah, it's a mess. I would not want to take that during rush hour, but our beavers, none of them have crashed heads yet, so it's probably fine. The problem is the entrance here. How do we get them in there? And I'm thinking, can they... Oop, give me... See, if we put that there... They should be able to pop down and blast a hole out. In theory. If they can't, we'll just have to blast down from the top until the door is opened. And, yeah. Explorations in seeing just how weird we can be about pathing. Okay, the rains are about to come, so let's have a quick look at how it affects the water table. Now, right now, it's all the bad stuff. So once that switches over, we should start getting the good stuff immediately. However, it'll still keep draining until it's wiped out all of the negative stuff. Bad tide ends. And... done. And then that means it should immediately start pouring out here. And also done. I mean, okay, that was the plan. I just didn't expect it to be that good. Actually, one thing I should probably do, are you synchronized with adjacent tiles? No. Close. Same with these guys. I think we'll just have one of these open. This one in the middle is automated. It's just I don't think we need as much water as this is going to have in it. And this should fill up this section here. Come on. Come on. There you go. Now, one of the reasons we did that is we can now stick down a large water pump right here. That fits in nice and neat. But we'll get around to populating that later. At the moment, we want to try and see if we can finish this water tank before the end of the wet season so that we can hopefully fill this one as well. Also, there have been some questions and concerns regarding evaporation. Now, I don't know how bad evaporation is. I've been advised you lose about, in a 30-day drought, every 10 days you lose like 1 tile of water off a tank. So I would be wondering, how big would we have to make our water tank that the amount of evaporation we get during a 30-day drought would be worse than the amount of water we actually get out of the wet season? So if it gets to the point where our water tank is like, say, a bajillion tiles, an infinite size big water tank, the amount of evaporation in those 30 days will get rid of more water than we gain back from the actual water tiles themselves. In theory. I don't know how big that is. We could probably do math, but I figure we just keep expanding the water tank until we eventually hit that number. Might take a little time, but you know, we've got a bit of patience. We can manage. And yeah, this works. So we have dug down here, and we are slowly but surely blasting our way each direction. I think, it depends how long the wet cycle is. So we're on day 1. We usually get 2 or 3 days of wet season. And then we have 3 days of it. Like, it'll give us 2 or 3 days, and then they'll say, okay, the next season's going to be this, and that season will hit in 3 days. So we get about 5 to 6 days of wet season. Let's try and capture as much water as we can. And yeah, that seems to be all working, and you have led to exactly as much water as is required. And you, yeah, you know what? We might not have enough time to get this all done, but we're still going to try. You know, I did a time-lapse for the last few days, but it's kind of pointless. All of the explosions happened underground, and this is about to overflow. There we go. We now have a full water tank. Okay, reservoir. Damn it, I can't help it, okay? All right, all of the beavers are now happily placing the explosives on top. I'm pretty sure the downstairs... Yeah, the downstairs is mostly done. Except for... Can't get required materials? But why not? Too far from district, can't get all required materials. You're missing planks, maybe? Oh wow, we're actually down to 21 planks. In that case, we can start deleting some stuff. It's like we can just delete some of this stuff over here. Yeah, that can all go. Okay, now you should have access to all the required materials. Go for it. And we're just going to blast some of the surrounding area here. We're going to do the same thing we did before. Hopefully, though, we should probably get around to that a little bit faster. I would like to capture more of this water if at all possible. There's still at least 3 days of flow left. Because we haven't got... It hasn't actually called what the next season is going to be. You can detonate. Yeah, and... Actually, you can detonate too. What I'm trying to do is get them all to the same level again, and once they're all at the same level, it just makes it easier to place it all the way around. Ah! And there's another bad tide approaching. Wonderful! Hopefully that will be short, and then we can get right back to stocking water tanks. I think we can at least get another 1 or 2 up today. One thing I would like to do is maybe open this tank up now. That should let the water in. Yeah, perfect. I mean, okay, the tank's not fully completed, but being able to at least blast some of it open would save us a bunch of effort. And, oh, yeah, keep the paths here. We had to demolish some blocks so that we could get rid of some bridges and a whole bunch of this. Oh, how are we going to get rid of that? Actually, that should be fine. We can demolish things, I think, from up high. That doesn't make a difference. Those can go. Then, yeah, the rest of it can be all dynamited as normal. So, lots of dynamite really quickly is in order. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That is just... Oh, exactly what we wanted. So far, I don't believe we have lost a single drop. And by that I mean... Okay, so water came out here, but it flowed down and went into our reservoir over here. This reservoir... Oh, sorry, going around our other dam, is not full. Or dam? Is this a dam? Like, this is a dam because it's natural? Okay, semi-natural. We did blow up a bunch of stuff. But anyway, yes. So the water that flowed over here got caught here, and the water that flowed through here has been caught here. In fact, I'm pretty sure on this single wet season, we're going to store every single drop of water that was released. It will all be captured on this map. And then we're probably going to expand out this and this next round as well. As in... As the season progresses, we'll expand out those two. So, we We might have the overflow be over here. I mean, I suppose we can put in the overflow here instead of over here. And in that case, that means we can just like plow through whole areas back here without actually having to care anymore. Because that will mean all the water will either come through, well, it's going to go through here, and then pass by our base. And for now, we might as well keep this sort of flowing stream here. It looks nice. But once we've got the full water tank in place, we'll turn that off. Or we'll divert the water some other way. Before we get started on another tank expansion, I'm thinking this needs to be fixed. This is our waste overflow, and yeah, I'm thinking a lot of this stuff has got to go right now. In fact, I think we can just delete everything on the ground floor. 1 second. Yeah, we can just zip down here. And like that. Done. All the way down to the bottom. Excellent. Then all we have to do is basically finish off the sewer. So, we'll put in, say, a bunch of blocks like that. Then we'll just cover it with dirt. This is here where the wastewater will go down. This area here can be filled in. 1 second. This line right here is where the wastewater is going to flow down. And then it will flow into those tiles. Wait, did I make that a 4 tile high wide or 5? Oh, no, wait. 5 tiles wide. So, this 5 tile wide area in here. And you can be bricked up as well. Then we're just going to raise this up until it's level with this water tank, because this is actually going to become a water tank on top of the sewage line. We'll keep them separated by a few tiles. They'll be grand. Okay, hopefully that's not too unclear. We're basically just making a tunnel through here where all the bad water can flow out without mixing with anything else. And then that will just flow all the way through to there. And then we're going to pave over this, we're going to blast out a chunk of this area here to turn it into a water tank as well. So we just want to make sure the two of them remain separate and don't interfere with each other ever again. A little bit of an interruption. Bad tide has been declared. We have 19 days before it ends. And down here, yeah, that immediately opens up the side vent and the bad water's pouring out. Excellent. Okay, that's only going to get worse and worse, isn't it? Okay. But it does mean that this is going to be well covered over. Now, we could seal this vent a little bit lower, but I kind of want to keep this nice and even. In fact, I think the center is going to be a little bit lopsided because of this thing, but we can always trim things or add things on if we want to make it look perfectly symmetrical. All right, let's just finish this up real quick. We've got a water tank to expand. This is finished off. Water is sealed in nicely. A bit of a problem we have run into, though. Not here. This, yeah, works exactly like we thought it would. The problem is more to do with where we're going. What I want to do is expand out the water tank through here and basically do a repeat of the first 2 tanks. Reservoirs. Problem is, we've run out of logs. Somehow we've managed to eat through our entire backlog of logs. At the same time, we have, we have 6 floors here. I'm pretty sure we've got a 7th floor somewhere else. In fact, yes, we have 7 floors. That's 7, 14, that's 2,800, about 2,800 oak trees. And we've run out of logs with 2,800 oak trees. We need another farm, don't we? Damn it, I'll have to move the housing to get it out of the way. This housing here is sort of in the way of where this is going to complete, and we'll have to move the large tanks as well. You know what? We'll leave you for a bit. We'll come back to you. Instead, we should probably concentrate over here. Ooh, actually, there's some oaks and things around here we could, well, just quick harvest. Just to get ourselves a quick injection of that sweet, sweet logs. We can plow through here. Yeah, let's grab these trees real quick. Well, this did help a little bit, ripping down a bunch of these things, but not as much as I was hoping. You see, the thing is, I started building these out here, and effectively it's just eating through all of the logs we've already gained. We need to increase production of logs, which means we need to put down another clover. To put down another clover, we're going to need to move all our housing and do a bunch of upgrades. So I think this little reservoir is going to have to wait. We'll let them finish out this section here, but once that's done, there's going to be so much wood required to bridge these 2 gaps here. I think that's what probably cleaned out, like this here, is probably what cleaned out our reserves last time, just the end of this box. It is sort of a lot of wood. Okay, this one will be actually not as bad. I think we're ending somewhere out here. I've drawn it out. It's 50, I want to say 51 tiles long is the tank. Because, well, the first one was 51 tiles long, so now they're all... And why am I stitching these together like this? This is the worst organization I've done in a while. Why don't we just have... There's like two lanes of traffic, basically, one on each side of these dams. I figure, why don't we just have both of them go into one area? That would make so much more sense. Okay, so you disappear. There we go. Have the two of them go into that one. Then we're going to have one connection go over there. No, you don't need to be there. You can... Actually... Yeah, there we go. Both of them go into there, and then you can continue on that direction, or... We can go over that direction. See, we have a plan. That looks way neater. Alright, I should have done this before. Basically, every time we want to expand, just put down one of these double stacks, and we can expand it out without having to do weird circular loop thingies. Alright, once you've finished putting this in, strip mining a little bit of stuff, we're going to actually... Oop, yeah, we can put a log camp out here. I mean, we might as well grab this stuff later. Before, I never would have bothered. But this will just give us a quick boost to hopefully tide us over until we're finished renovating in here, because we do have to move those liquid tanks, and we do have to move that large water pump, and we do have to move the housing somehow, and I want to try and make it so that they live mostly around here, and hopefully in a neat way. I wonder if we actually could situate them above the water. That might be... I need to stop. I have rebuilt and redesigned this several times, just trying to make it look neat. That's not the plan normally. The plan is just to brute force it. But, you know, this is, like, we don't even need these beavers. We could get rid of all the organics. The bots are more than capable of taking care of everything at this point. But, you know, promises were made. So I'm going to keep them alive. We're going to keep about 9 houses active. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses. And then... yeah, we're just going to have them all get up and down here via transport links. Zipline stations, no actual ability to walk up and down via platforms. We're going to get rid of that. Ooh, and as well as that, like, when it comes to doing this liquid tank, there's 2 ways to go about it. One is diagonal. That is the cool... not the cool... It's the neat-looking way of doing it, because it matches up kind of with the way we're doing our farms. In fact, our entire base. However... to go diagonally, what you basically end up doing is doing something like this. You'll go, oh, I would like to go diagonally, so I have to go like that. But your beavers can't walk that way, so what you end up doing is, well, going like this. Then they have to zigzag. At which point, it would cost just as much wood to go, oh, like that. So that's what, 3, 6, that's 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's 7 tiles, and you get the exact same, like, you get twice the storage space in this as you get in that. So, what we could do is just diagonally across. I think that's what I'd prefer to do, just because it looks more pretty, let's just say. Or we could just go full square, as in come straight out here and then straight down, which would give us double the storage space for the same amount of resource investment. But I think it would look uglier, so I'm going to stay away from it. Though I am going to start using dirt more. Thing is... dirt excavators. Every 2 hours we can get 6 dirt, which is a block. So put down, say, about another 5 or 6 of these. Maybe 7 or 8. And we should be able to produce more than enough dirt to actually start filling in places along here. It takes 12 logs to make 1 levee, but it only takes 12 or 6 dirt to occupy the same block, and it's the exact same stuff. It won't look quite as natural as this, but at the same time, once these blocks get up, I want to sit to... how high do these go? Yeah, once the blocks get up to there, what we have to do after that is switch over to levees to get the water tank to the maximum size. So that's going to be somewhere up about there. So the top of the tank is going to be all wood anyway. So I figure bottom of the tank use blocks, or use dirt. Top of the tank use the wooden blocks. Actually... how about for our diagonal build, we actually just go 100% diagonal, but at the top we put in these suspension bridges. So suspension bridge by 2. Oh, actually no, they won't connect across. We need to have some way of them connecting together. Actually, we're low enough down on this angle so far. What we can do is we can just sideways slot the dirt. And then, okay, later on when we get to the top, things might get a little bit awkward, but we could do some dumb stuff like, say, that. And that way we can put a path along the top. It would be incredibly expensive in steel, but I think we can afford it. And that way we can put in this weird diagonal path. We will, of course, be stopping at points to put in, zipline towers. But I think something like that should be very possible. Cut down on resource consumption, especially since we'll be using dirt. I think that's very doable. But first up, I need to prep for the next episode so I can figure out how I'm going to do this housing right. I want to make it attractive and not too horrifying. At the same time, we're going to have to cram in all the decorations, the Fountain of Joy, the Brazier of Bonding, Earth Recultivator distributes. Yeah. You know what? We can build one of those. Yeah, why not? Well, once we got the farm done, wow. Okay, there's a range on that. Can we put that on top of here? 1 second. Oh, yeah, we can put it on top. That might be an interesting thing to try. In fact, we could put one on the very top floor. You know what? I will do that experimentation in the background. First things up, next episode, we want to put in really, really fancy accommodation for our beavers to max out their mood as much as possible, except for grilled spatterduck and cattail crackers. You're not getting those. Everything else will get you, but you're not getting those two. Don't care. Yeah, and then we got to figure out how we cram in all of this stuff. Probably doable. Books might also be a bit of a stretch, considering our woods. You know what? That's for the next episode. For now, I'm going to cut this out here. I think our water expansion has been a huge success. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.